Is Fox 10 Talks. I don't know if they want to call it the heist of the century or the heist of the decade, but we're learning more by the hour about the brazen theft of the priceless jewels that these thieves managed to get away from the Louvre, the most talked about museum in all of France, maybe the most talked about museum in all of the world. And it happened just the other day with just outrage across France. And we continue to learn more about what actually went down. The fact that they were able to pull this off just has an entire nation shaking its head in unison. And guess what? We're now learning that, in fact, I've got some video here of the jewels before they were stolen. And yeah, everything from anger to outrage to a lot of questions in France. Now, they pulled this off in just a matter of minutes. This is by the way, it is the world's most visited museum. I think they have somewhere every year between about 7 and 8 million people that visit. Most people go there, of course, to see the Mona Lisa, but these jewels are really considered kind of the crown jewels of the nation. And the president there, Emmanuel Macron, had to come out and make a statement yesterday saying this is an attack on our heritage we cherish because it is our history. And guess what? He's put his whole reputation out there. He has vowed to recover them and bring the perpetrators to justice. So from what we're hearing from the police sources, the whole thing was highly organized. I mean, if you like these, what are they, like the Ocean's 11, Ocean's 13 movies, it almost, and I'm sure we're going to learn a lot more about it in the next few days, but it almost feels like one of those, to be sure. There's some video showing that shortly after they realized that the heist had happened, that a lot of the people who had, they get tourists from all over the world, and everything has changed for them because it is shut down. But here's what we know so far. The guys that came in, they were all masked up. They wore hoods. I mean, they were going to do what they could to try to hide their identity. But it happened at about 9:30 in the morning. And the thing is, there was some construction work going on. And there was a piece of construction equipment that had a bucket that they were able to get into to access the room and actually steal it all. So, again, being described as very, one of the words I keep seeing used is efficient. Another word is brazen. And another is professional, which makes you wonder who exactly pulled this off. And there are, they did apparently. They tried to then cover their tracks by setting a fire. But security was, on their tail, but not able to actually pull it off. Apparently, they used some sort of almost like a chainsaw-like device to basically saw through what they needed to saw through to pull off the heist. And they had 2 high-security display cases that were targeted. By the way, a total of 8 items were taken and remain unaccounted for, but these guys were in such a hurry, I think probably shocked that they were able to pull it off so simply and so easily. They dropped 1 item. And so one of the 9 items that was stolen, they already have been able to recover that. But all the rest, and we're talking about valued in the millions and millions of dollars. But beyond that, it's just a black eye for the entire nation of France. So the heist, the great heist of 2025, sounds like something out of a movie, but these thieves, they pulled it off. So good morning, everybody, and thanks for spending some time with us here. I'm Ron Hoon. Syleste is going to be joining in just a minute. Fox 10 Talks is the streaming show that has people watching all around the world, and you can join us if you're on YouTube. Come in and say hi. We call it the friendliest chat online. Now, one of our favorite guests here on FTT is this guy right here. It's Justin Lum. He has walked us through some of the biggest court cases in recent history, but he heads an investigative team at Fox 10 that really does, I think, great work. And Justin, you have a new story that you're going to start unfolding for our viewers later today on Fox 10. Let's talk just a little bit about it, because it actually takes us for our audience that's not familiar with Arizona, many miles away from the Phoenix Metro.
Yeah, we've been busy and warming up the stream for Syleste. Good morning.
Hey,
Yeah,
good
there you
morning.
go. Proper introductions for Syleste. She takes her seat.
Here's the queen.
Hello,
the
you're too
laptop.
sweet. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Ron, welcome back. We've missed you.
Thank you. I can't hear you on your microphone now. Will you give me 1, 2, 3, Syleste?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, can't hear
Testing.
you. Try that other microphone right down there. Yeah, I know. We have, it's a streaming show, everybody. So
Hello.
I can hear you.
Hello.
Okay, give me that mic, Syleste.
Celeste Mike, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay,
5,
now
6.
give me your other one.
Hello.
I don't hear either one. Oh, brother. Okay, well, we know. Okay, they say they can hear you. I just can't hear you.
Okay.
But we have all the engineers who can work it all out. Anyway, Justin, take it away. You had to travel quite a long ways from the Metro Phoenix area just to start investigating this case.
Yeah, this takes place far away, White Mountain Apache Tribal Reservation. And this is involving the chairman. I mean, in the tribal government, this is the top executive. This is like the president of the tribe. His name is Casey Velasquez. He's on paid administrative leave as he's being investigated for very serious allegations. We broke this story back in July, but did not have a lot of information at the time. We just knew that this was a serious situation in the workplace involving the Bureau of Indian Affairs and FBI. We now know that the alleged victim, and we had found out the alleged victim in this case was an employee. Now we can say this is the Director of Human Resources. Her name is Wendy Ruiz. She filed a complaint against the chairman for sexual assault. These are very serious allegations, of course. We reached out to the tribe in the past, and now Casey Velasquez's attorney. We're going to have that statement tonight, but really it's about this woman's story, her perspective as she tells all. She has come forward on camera to speak with me about this. Her name is Wendy Ruiz again, and she says that she's still traumatized by what happened in June of 2025. She says she was violated by the chairman, and this is very serious because it raises the questions of what happens in the workplace, in tribal land as investigations unfold. It's different. It's a different system.
One of the, online, I see Steve Dockstader. He's like, Justin is such a solid reporter. Tell us how how did you first get wind of the story, and then how does your investigative process unfold?
Okay. Well, first I see the comments. I'm glad you guys can hear me. I appreciate that. How did I get wind of this was really just a tip. Yeah, I think, working in a market for such a long time, people will contact you and just say, hey, you should look into this. And at first it might sound like
it could
crazy.
Come in the form of a text.
Yeah.
It could just be
email, a phone call.
Bump into. I'm also going to have you grab that other microphone, Justin, because I'm hearing some people say they can hear you and others say they can't.
Okay. So we'll do
this one.
Yeah, we can hear him.
Okay. We're good?
All right. Yeah, go
All right. So, yeah, it was just a simple tip. And then, I go about reaching out to officials like the Bureau of Indian Affairs. They were able to confirm the matter. But, that's all they're going to say. They're not going to give you details. We're investigating the matter. Quote, that's what it is. You reach out to FBI. FBI usually assists in these serious cases regarding the tribe. We go from there. And then the alleged victim, Wendy, we've been talking for some months, and she said, what, it's time for me to speak out. I need to, do this not just for myself, but my kids are watching me.
What a brave act on her part.
Very brave. And so, and obviously, we have to remain fair. We have to remain balanced. We reach out to both sides. But for her to come out on camera, not anonymously, it does make you think what happened here. So that story airs tonight. And, with the power of our YouTube platform, we're going to put that whole interview on as well, about 20 minutes, the extended interview.
When will that be on YouTube?
That will be on tonight, most likely after 9:30 p.m. our time.
Okay.
Our story will probably air at the 9:30 segment in our newscast.
All right.
And so we want people to see that report and then be able to watch the full interview for even more context, because as you know, there are constraints, with our packages.
One of the questions that I had was, and let us know in the chat if you can hear me okay on this microphone. Do we know where, and I'm sure you do since you interviewed the victim, on the job, or was it like off-site, off of the job?
This happened in his office, allegedly. According to the victim, they work directly with each other, as she's the director of HR, and so they're pretty much around each other 8 hours a day. And in this report, she details sort of what led up to this, the red flags that she saw, that she became more aware of, and then when this happened, it left her traumatized. Again, she filed a complaint for sexual harassment and assault. The graphic details, sexual in nature. We have reached out to Casey Velasquez's attorney. They have a full statement that will be included in this report. And really, he's not going to comment any further as he wants this investigation to play out. And that's the serious part, is that, this is all pending.
Right.
What happens next, we don't know. We've reached out to the BIA to see where does this investigation stand. But the bottom line is that the victim now coming forward for the first time.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to end up spending a fair amount of time up there, Justin. Have you already traveled up to the White Mountain Apache reservation? Not yet.
I have not been physically up there. And then, as you know, when we cover stories,
the interview. Smart.
Bringing a camera on tribal land too, you basically need permission by the person you're with, or you're going to their home or something. It's not like we can just film Phoenix Police Department like here. It's a little different. She came here.
I'll be curious to know what when you get up there, what people are saying. I remember the first time, this was back in the 1980s, the first time I went up to White River to cover a story, I was blown away by the natural beauty of that area.
Yeah.
The people who live there, mostly in White River, but other long-established communities, I mean, they wake up every day to a beautiful, beautiful scene, but it just has to be, I would imagine, pretty shocking to people who maybe have only lived there for a brief time, who've been there their whole lives.
I'm glad you bring that up, because communities like this, not a lot of coverage or news coverage comes out. And when something like this happens, I think I can just speak on the social media aspect. A lot of chatter, a lot of comments, and people that are ready and anxious to see this report, because this is the person that leads their government.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, guys.
You so much for all you do.
Okay, that's our Justin Lum reporting for us. Be sure to watch tonight at 9 o'clock. Right now, we're going to take a break because, Celeste, we've got the mystery cam all lined up and ready to go.
You've missed it, my friend.
I have. I had to get back to
I knew there were tears.
Give us your guesses now, everybody. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Oh, wait.
I'm on Celeste, Mike.
All right, everybody.
All right.
Back.
All right,
With that
everybody.
music, those guys, when the orchestra takes their break,
Yeah.
they are out of here.
Well, it's like big band. They need a break, Ron.
Yeah, they do.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Okay, so what do you see for guesses, Celeste? This is a brand new, this amazes me. With our friends at Fox, we are constantly getting new cameras in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at these cars. For example, I'm watching this guy pull out. You know what? At first, I was thinking it could have been the UK. But, like Scotland or England or something. With that
Correct.
church people. But then I saw the guy was driving on the correct side of the road. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're either in the U.S. or Canada. Let's see. What are you seeing?
Well, we've got Massachusetts from Dave's Camping Adventures,
Okay.
Wisconsin from Darla Nicole Clapperton,
Nice.
another Mass from Lil Philosophy and Saya.
Okay.
We've got an Illinois from Louis Gonzalez. They're kind of all over. Alabama from Darla Nicole Clapperton. That actually, I might go Alabama.
Really? Okay.
I don't know. What are you thinking, Ron?
Well, at first I'm thinking that Brandy just said, "Oh no, I'm out of apple cider tea." This is something. If you guys want to join the chat and tell us what's your morning drink of choice,
Yes.
for hanging out with us at least for an hour, if not the whole 2-hour extravaganza.
Well, I know you're not a coffee drinker.
Correct.
I am.
I drink a soda called Sparkling Ice. It has no aspartame,
But it has caffeine.
yes, it
Which
does.
is what you need. But we have this new story that developed this morning was that people are dropping salt in their coffee.
I saw that.
Yeah, and
What's
it's
the
supposed to.
big why?
It kind of it breaks down the bitterness.
Oh.
Salt, Ron, is
Okay.
is a really good thing.
It's one of the most important substances on Earth.
It
Celeste.
absolutely.
And I'm no scientist.
No. Are you the salt to the earth, though?
Wow. I like Rob Hernandez, who jumps in and says, not just Wisconsin, but I think it could be Spring Green, Wisconsin. Jen's Wall is Michigan, which I was in Michigan last week, you guys. We're gonna play Michigan trivia with Celeste and Bella
Okay.
later this morning. But anyway, okay, I guess I'm gonna go Wisconsin. Rob seems very specific about it.
Okay, he's going to go Wisconsin. I'm going to go Alabama.
Okay, ladies
All right,
and gentlemen,
here we go.
what happens now is this. For our first-time viewers, Celeste opens up the mystery cam answer and reveals it to the audience.
Somerset, PA, baby.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's
Celeste,
Pennsylvania.
I just drove through Somerset, PA last week.
Did you drive through that image?
Now I got to go back and look and think. It is very hilly through there. You have the Pennsylvania Turnpike, which is, by the way, way too expensive to drive on
Oh
for a
my
cheapskate like me.
gosh.
I wanted to do all the winding 2-lane roads, but anyway, I paid for it. But I don't remember seeing a beautiful neighborhood like this. You know, when you get off the freeway, Celeste, it's basically Arby's, Wendy's, and McDonald's. You can just about, and a BK. And so that's what I remember seeing in Somerset. We got off the freeway right there to drive down to, there's a house that Frank Lloyd Wright built over a waterfall. Have you ever seen the pictures of this place?
You know what? I don't know if I have.
Yeah,
in Somerset.
No, it's a little, well, it's outside of Somerset.
Yeah.
But they call it falling water, and he literally built it over the top of a
Oh my
waterfall. I'll have to
gosh.
bring in a pic and
I'm actually
show
going to
you
look
that
it up
tomorrow.
right now.
Yeah, you guys at home watching, you can Google falling water. This is the most amazing house.
Oh my
you'll
goodness.
ever
Wow,
see.
this is pretty amazing.
I took a picture so I can show it to you later. But maybe I can send it to Jeff and he can. scoot it
Wow.
over to
I
us.
wonder if you can it has water like underneath the home and throughout the house.
Yeah, and guess
But,
what? Ever since they built it, it still leaks.
Really?
Can you believe?
I wonder if you could fish, like does he have, in that little lake outside front of the house,
it's a little
probably.
creek that comes through. I bet you
Wow, that is really beautiful. Wasn't he amazing?
Yes, and we're so lucky that we have. He loved the desert. He spent a lot of time here, and especially his last several
Well,
years.
the Arizona Biltmore.
There you go.
That was a big contribution
yes,
of
and
his.
Taliesin West.
Yep.
Right. Okay, here in Arizona, we can announce that our governor, by the way, we've reached out to the governor's office. Hopefully she'll join us soon to talk about this. Governor Hobbs is declaring a state of emergency for, Celeste, bless you.
Thank you, Ron.
I don't know
Thank
if the
you.
audience heard that, but I sure did.
I'm allergic to politics.
You're right. Well, this is you'll have to adjust because
Anybody have an Allegra?
between now and 2026, we're going to be talking some politics, that's for sure. But here's what we can tell you on this story. Oops, I'm trying to punch up VO3.
Okay.
Which is talking all about this.
Video.
VO is voice, voiceover.
Voiceover.
Now,
Video.
It'll take me a second. Just hold on, everybody. But basically, she did declare a state of emergency for Maricopa County. This is the craziest weather year I can remember, Celeste. Because we get through most of the monsoon and we're like, it's another non-soon. And then starting in September, it gets kind of crazy. And then October, I was at the airport. I was stuck at, I'm just trying to punch up your.
Where were you stuck, Ron?
At Sky Harbor Airport.
Okay, when was it? Was this,
this was
a few weeks ago?
It was actually the very end of September, the day that we had all the horrible floods up in Globe.
The huge storms, yeah.
And Sky Harbor was shut down for hours. So, and then we get this latest storm activity just a week ago.
Right.
And I'm like, but the calendar. Oh,
Thank you to the powers that be back there.
Yes,
Wonderful job.
Thank you. But we're showing you some of the damage left behind in a number of different valley cities. And there's the governor. She amended an earlier declaration for September's flood to include Mojave County, but $200,000 is freed up as a result.
So I grew up right where this hit.
Oh.
This is like in Tempe, Arizona.
Okay.
Like I would love to see. I wonder if there are any trees that were taken down at Kiwanis Park. Right. But wow, it has been really wild to see how bad these storms have been here in Arizona.
Gosh, yes. Right?
It's a lot. There's some people who live in this apartment complex. We had this story this morning off of Mill Avenue in Southern, just north of the US 60.
Yeah.
And they don't. I think there's 30 units still that don't have power or utilities, or they're still fixing them up. So imagine you lived in one of those and everything that you owned was destroyed.
Yeah.
And so those people not only have to find a new place to live, but now they have to find new belongings. It's so sad.
And you get to thinking, well, we've seen the worst of it because we saw the flooding up in the Globe, Miami area. And then something like this happens and you're like, actually, it looks like there's so much damage. We didn't have the loss of life, at least in just the numbers that we saw up in the Globe area.
Yeah.
But then a microburst, Celeste, a microburst can hit and rip a bunch of apartment units to shreds. People just don't understand, if they've never spent any time here, how severe our weather can be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, another big story is the big No Kings protest. So let's get right to this video. This is a look at Tempe, Chandler, and Goodyear. And so this is just a little bit more of an alert from what we have managed to learn so far about the No Kings protest. Now, that's a pretty good crowd right there. We are told that many thousands of people, you basically had, I think the crowds would have looked even bigger if there was one main protest area right here in the valley, but people had so many different options, as you just saw, from Tempe to Chandler and down at the state capitol, but still they got a lot of people out. A lot of people just not a fan at all of the Trump administration, and he actually responded to it all. Take a listen to this.
I think it's a joke. I looked at the people. They're not representative of this country. And I looked at all the brand new signs paid for, I guess it was paid for by Soros and other radical left lunatics. It looks like it was. We're checking it out. The demonstrations were very small, very ineffective, and the people were whacked out. When you look at those people, those are not representative of the people of our country. I'm not a king. I work my ass off to make our country great. That's all it is. I'm not a king at all.
Now, Celeste, we had to bleep out that one word. At home, you can guess what the word was that we bleeped out. It was something about, I work my blank off.
Oh, my butt. Did he say booty?
No.
Or did he say badonk?
But being the president, I think he probably would have said my buttocks.
Oh.
Because that's more the technical term.
Well, I would actually, or my gluteus.
Mr. President, he knows about Fox 10, by the way. If you occasionally want to use the phrase gluteus maximus, Dave says we're trying to get the president on the line here.
So if he says, I worked my gluteus maximus off.
Okay, so it leads to our poll question. You better believe one of the things we do around here is we're fearless when it comes to our poll question.
So is
whatever the big one, the big story of the day is, we're going to pop it on the screen.
Oh, so we get to choose if it's booty, badonk.
No, that'll be tomorrow's
gluteus
question.
maximus.
How
Ron.
would you prefer the president refer to
his behind?
Okay, we're going to get in trouble here. Here we go. Ready? Question of the day. Please grab the QR code and vote so we can move on. Does he think he's a king? 63% of you are saying no, he's just a strong leader. 2% say probably not, but he sometimes acts like it. And 35% say he does. We're becoming an authoritarian country. What are you seeing on YouTube, Syleste?
So on YouTube, we have well over 900 votes.
Wow.
Same question, but oftentimes different audience. So let's take a look at the numbers. So no, he's just a strong leader. 46% of you say that. Probably not, but he sometimes acts like it's 7%. And just slightly coming up ahead here, 47% says he does. We're becoming an authoritarian country.
All right. So if we had a studio audience, they would start applauding right now.
Okay.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, here he is. And by the way, you're getting a free Bella bomb there she is with the photo bombing. Isabella joining later.
Hi,
Dave,
Bells.
what are you seeing for comments?
Yeah, so passionate people as always in our comments. Mikel3564 says if he was a king, these protests wouldn't be allowed and those protesting would vanish like they do in Russia and China. Beethoven is God says, of course Trump thinks he's a king, but the worst part of it is that millions of people want him to be a king. MAGA is a cult. And finally, Ginger Hadley says Donnie doesn't want to be a king, he wants to be a dictator. So a lot of passion on all sides here. Keep the comments up. We love hearing from you guys.
Oh, that's great. Okay,
Yeah,
Dave.
good stuff.
Yeah,
You
every
all are very
viewpoint
thoughtful.
represented there.
Yeah, very, very thoughtful.
Yeah. Okay, so one more time, here's the QR code. If you want to grab it, you can move the numbers around. They're already moving just a little bit. Or, of course, you can go onto YouTube. That's an overwhelming response, considering we launched that, I think, right around 9 this morning and already pretty close to 1,000
Oh,
votes.
my
We'll have
goodness.
many
Yes.
thousand votes by the time we all meet here again tomorrow. So, you ready to take a break?
No, Ron, again?
Yes, Celeste.
My gosh, we have to
I
pay
know.
your big salary.
These advertisers. I'm all in favor of advertising.
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah. Okay,
So-
because it pays for Dave too.
Yeah. Man, and that's a big salary, that guy right there. Let me just tell you.
So much money.
Hey, everybody, it's Ron and Celeste, and a beautiful view of the sagebrush and a lake. And, it's not a mystery cam, so we don't really know where it is, but I'm betting it's British Columbia.
Oh, maybe. I was thinking like maybe Montana.
It could be Montana.
Maybe.
There's a big lake up there called Flathead Lake, but it's not that skinny.
Flathead Lake, I've seen that place all over Instagram.
Oh, have you ever not been yet?
I have not been to Flathead Lake.
Oh, you'd love it.
The homes are like BC, British Columbia.
Lake Country, BC.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So Flathead Lake, the homes around it are like 12 million each.
Yeah.
Some go up to about 40 million.
I was doing some work up there. Gosh, I bet that was 25 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And the guy that I was working with, it was like a TV production thing. He said, "Hey, my dad wants to sell his house. It's on the water for $199."
$199.
Celeste.
$199?
No, $199,000.
You should have bought it.
You cannot find a single house in the 5 million strong metro area in Phoenix for $199,000.
No way.
I could have had it on the lake.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Ron.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda is the thing everybody says about real estate.
I know. That is so true.
Way too high. Now, we were concerned. Our concern level was up to here this morning, and now it's dropped down to here.
Now, why is that?
Because the Amazon Web Services people up there in Seattle, there was a global outage that impacted so many different web services.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this?
I got a text from my college student at like 1:40 in the morning.
Okay.
And she was like, "Hey, Mom, just so you know, apps are down." Because she knows I wake up at like 3 or 3:30 in the morning.
Okay.
I don't know when it was restored, but Snapchat was down, Life 360, all the location apps were down.
I love that Kiana is your first alert news system.
They know they're little news gatherers.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I popped them out, Ron.
Yeah.
I'm a news gatherer. Now I got little newsies.
It's on the
I'm trying to work Gary into the mix. That's my husband, in case you didn't know.
There you go. Here is what we know so far. Here is just a list of some of the places where their apps and websites did go down this morning. Venmo, United Airlines and Delta, Facebook, McDonald's, Pokemon. Imagine you're up at 2 this morning wanting to play Pokemon. You can't do it.
Boo.
Prime Video, AT&T, Zoom, Ring, Fortnite, Hulu, Disney Plus. My gosh. I mean, it was a serious thing.
There's a really good comment in here. RLS Vid says AWS going down is the equivalent to the Amazon delivery driver dropping your package off at the wrong house. I think you're so right. So when AWS is one of the software platforms that a lot of companies use when you're working from home.
Cloud computing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it's all about. The biggest companies in the world use them and rely on them.
Yeah, so let's say you're working in Europe, and you're a global company and you have employees around the world or here in the United States, and at that time of the day, people couldn't get on.
Yeah, I know.
They couldn't work.
It's a mystery. And the thing about it is, and this is what we have been reaching out to a lot of our sources in the tech world to see if sort of forensically, digitally speaking, they've been able to come up with some answers as to why it actually happened. Because what's the first thing you think nowadays when something like this goes on?
That it was a cyber threat.
Yes.
That it was some hacker in another country.
North Korea.
Yeah.
The Russians. Something like that.
We love our
not.
Well, I have to say, though, we love our Korean people here in Arizona.
Thank you.
And we love our Russian community.
We do.
There's a great Russian bakery on 32nd Street south of Shea.
There's your consumer tip for the day.
We do.
I mean, we know that there are Russian hackers.
But there's a couple of them.
North Korean hackers.
Yes.
Okay.
But the couple make it.
Don't try to get me in trouble with the North Korean community, okay?
Well, Ron, it's a couple bad apples that ruin it for everybody. They're great people.
Yes.
But that is automatically what you think it is. A cyber attack, cyber threat. And you think, what is happening?
Yeah.
When in reality, maybe it's just some guy who hit a wrong button.
It very well could be. Think about sometimes when the whole airline system goes down and flights are canceled, and you know what they call it? The worst word to use in a situation.
What's that?
A glitch.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
a glitch is when your phone, burps for a second.
Yeah,
not
burps.
when the whole airline says. So this was more than a glitch. Amazon, please don't come out and call this a glitch.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to do their damage control, but got their work cut out for them. That's for sure.
All right, we have video coming in. This is a unique rescue during hiking season, and so we got to talk about it here. We're about a minute away from our friends at TMZ, by the way. And this is from the Mojave County Sheriff's Office. It's just a reminder for everybody that if you're out hiking, don't forget your pups. If you take your animal out on that trail, you're responsible for the health and safety. And so this pup named Oso was out there on the Lizard Peak Trail, really popular trail out by Lake Havasu. About 100 pounds, exhausted.
Oh.
I mean, yes, we're not at 110 anymore, but we still have temps in the 80s.
Well, there's no shade anywhere in sight.
Yeah, so thank goodness they did the right thing. They called out emergency responders, and it's just a reminder, they say, to know your dog's fitness level. And then take the weather into account. And hydration is important, not just for humans.
For everybody, yeah.
And then since we are covering rescues, I believe we have the moose. Mm-hmm. Stand by. This is the rescue of a moose. You may go the rest of your year without seeing him. Look, there he is. Like, get that camera off me. I'm already embarrassed enough. You know what? I'm going to go hide in the swing set.
There was a couple of moose out there.
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay, so this was in Colorado, and he got stuck down in a skate park. When I first saw that, I thought it was a pool with no water in it.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
So the team worked and got him safely. It was Mom, by the way, that was looking on. So it was the young moose. Oh,
it was the baby.
It's a baby moose.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What's the multiple for moose?
Meese.
Meese. Right. Yeah, like geese.
All right, let's go to TMZ. One of the great things on our show is every Monday morning, we talk to our friends at TMZ, and we're bringing in Alexa Klohn right now. Good morning, Alexa.
Good morning. How are you?
Just great. Have you ever seen a moose rescued before today?
I have never. That was shocking.
Okay, well, first of all, we got to ask about your shirt. Are you a big Sabrina Carpenter fan? What's happening here?
I am. Yeah. Sabrina did perform on SNL this past weekend, so I had to represent.
So how do you think she did? What were your thoughts?
I think she crushed it, of course.
Ron, Alexa, good morning. It's Celeste from The Morning Show. So Alexa went to the University of Arizona.
Good.
Yeah, so she's a U of A Wildcat.
Harvey likes to hire a lot of ASU and U of A people.
He does.
That.
I told her I was his Sun Devil, but I love her anyway.
Right.
Yeah, she's fabulous.
Exactly. An Arizona gal is an Arizona gal.
Yes.
So let's see. We have a couple of stories that we can talk to you about, and one I think has to do. Let's start with the Louvre.
That's crazy story.
Yes, it is. Have you learned some additional info? The fact that they were in and out, I think, in 7 minutes has got to have true crime aficionados all over France shaking their heads in disgust that they could actually do this. What do you know?
Yeah, I think this story is right out of a movie. I mean, people love a good heist story, but of course it's devastating as is. 9 pieces of jewelry were stolen, just under 7 minutes. They don't have anyone under arrest currently. The Louvre tells us that they are closed today to continue with the ongoing investigation on getting those items back. One of the items, that beautiful crown that you see in the middle, had been recovered, seemingly dropped during the heist. So I'm sure whoever was attempting to steal it is getting in the ringer now, but it's really devastating. But I mean, people are very much hooked. The fact that they were able to do this, seemingly dressed in construction worker outfits, taking ladder contraption up to the window, using there's a video of, I guess, seemingly one of the robbers using a tiny saw to cut through the glass in order to steal that beautiful necklace. So it's quite the crazy story.
Gorgeous.
And
look at that.
They're even using the word professional. Like, I don't know if there are professional gangs over there, or maybe they came into France from somewhere else to pull this off. We don't know anything yet.
No.
I mean, it's unclear who they are, where they come from, but very tactical. incredible.
You would think, right, when you consider all of the amazing works of art, that the security is top notch in a facility like this, right? And you think, how in the world does something like this happen?
Exactly. I mean, the Mona Lisa is just steps away. I mean, we know back in 1911, the Mona Lisa was stolen. And I don't think there's been that big of a heist since. So the fact that they were able to come in on a Sunday, nevertheless, a Sunday morning, one of the busiest days for tourism at the Louvre, is just shocking.
You know, it makes you think to a certain degree. I wonder if it was at least partially a bit of an inside job. Like they knew when people were nearby or what security personnel, like a switch of security. I know it happened close to when they opened, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it happened right at 9 a.m. That rumor has been circling. I mean, I guess a theory more to say that, yeah, there's no way they could have done this without a little bit of inside help. But guess we'll just have to wait and find out. Hopefully they can recover those amazing jewels.
Hey, in our last couple of minutes here, just wanted to ask you about Britney Spears. People have wondered for a long time about the stuff she posts, and now she's come forward with an interesting theory. What's it all about?
Yeah, you know, Britney has not been holding back recently. As we know, she's very vocal online, but in light of her ex K-Fed coming out with a memoir tomorrow, he's been kind of sharing some old, you know, past moments, not looking the best for Britney. And so she's taken online to start a new, I guess, enlightenment of her past, saying that she had gone through brain damage not too long ago. Kind of unclear what she's talking about or referring to, but yeah, I don't know if she's trying to beat K-Fed to the punch on any way before the memoir fully gets released, but yeah, kind of an interesting new tidbit from Britney.
So she didn't give the backstory or provide any proof. She just kind of raised that as a possibility and moved on.
Yeah. She kind of spoke of it in this long Instagram rant as if it was like a casual, just bringing it up. Oh yeah, when I suffered from brain damage. So, I mean, maybe it's something that is known to her for a while, and this is just the first time that we're kind of catching up on it. But yeah.
Wow.
Okay. You know, I think all of us, I don't presume to speak for everybody, I think we all hope that somehow things settle down for her and life kind of just gets back to normal.
Totally. We're all rooting for Britney.
Yeah,
for sure.
So true. Alexa,
and
thank you.
And we're rooting for Sabrina Carpenter, who is on top of the world right now and apparently crushed it, according to Alexa.
Yeah, Alexa, thank you for joining us. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me. Always good to see you guys.
Have a great day.
You too.
Break time, and we're 2 minutes away from more interesting chat. Don't go away. Bella joins.
Wow, it's amazing. Like,
right. Celeste, what were you just saying during the break?
I have to give a big shout out this morning to Big D.
Okay.
Can we show his face here?
Yeah, sure.
He is a really
paid per appearance, so he just made an extra $15.
Okay, go back again. All right, there you
30.
go. So he's a great competitor. Yeah. I get this text from Dave on Saturday morning. He's like, "Hey, by the way, your tight end." Was it Saturday, Dave? Yeah. It was Saturday. He's like, "Hey, your tight end's injured. You may want to trade him out." Because, I'm like playing mom and wife, like at home. So I don't.
Like fantasy football's not your number one issue over the weekends?
No, not
Try
normally.
To be more like Dave, would you?
So I was like, "Thank you, Dave. That's so amazing. You're such a great competitor. What good, sports spirit." So I switched him out.
Oh, good.
But then I happened to watch. I was like, "Who am I going to trade him out for?" And I should have traded him out for the tight end who played for the Giants last night because they were having a good game against the Broncos. Right. But then Bo Nix and the Broncos rallied back.
We all like the Giants around here because we want to watch Cam Scatterbo score touchdowns. Have you guys heard about this dude online? I'm conflicted of whether I should even say his online name.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't want to give him a bunch of publicity, but I will.
Why?
You guys at home can decide if you want to go check him out or not. His name is official.dustybun.
Dusty Bun?
Dusty Bun.
Not official Dusty Badonk.
Dusty Bun. So here's what he does. He stands out in traffic. I'm going to see if we can get an okay at some point in the next couple of days to show his video. But Bella, here he is. It's this guy here.
Oh, his icon is a little rabbit.
Yeah, well, here's what he does. He goes out and he stands in traffic, apparently in the morning, and holds up a sign that reveals the Wordle word of the day.
In the morning?
Can you believe it, Celeste?
I was thinking evening rush hour might be okay, although I really disagree with that any time of the day.
Me too.
But first thing in the morning,
I know.
That's not good. People haven't had an opportunity to get their brain working yet.
He posted the other day, and it got 1 million likes. He's just standing out there by the side of a road, and he's holding up a sign. How many days ago was this? It's a word from several days ago. But the reaction to what I'm seeing people say online is quite hilarious. One guy said, "At my age, even though I saw it, I probably wouldn't remember by the time I got home."
That is brilliant.
Can you believe that one, Bella?
Oh, my goodness.
Funny.
Yeah.
He only has 518 followers on Instagram. I think people are...
518,000?
No, 518 followers on
Instagram.
Instagram.
1 million likes on this post the other day.
Probably. I think people probably thought, "Hey, this is kind of hilarious and weird."
Yeah.
But maybe they didn't follow him because they don't want to know what the answer is.
Things to be ruined. Oh,
yeah, because have both of you done Wordle yet today?
No.
Okay.
Who has time in the morning?
I did it.
Right.
Yeah, I did it. Yeah.
We have very busy mornings over here.
Yeah,
How many
the
lines
mornings
did it take you, Celeste?
I think 4.
Okay.
So it was
4
pretty.
is very average.
That's very
I'm
average.
just saying. Okay. But, somebody got online and said you should make it green so it's more visible and more people will see it.
No.
And the guy actually got on and commented and said, "We don't have the ink for that, unfortunately."
Yeah.
Apparently it's a low-cost operation.
Right.
Can you believe it?
That's crazy.
I do. This is my
silly.
favorite comment. Is he in custody or still at large?
Oh my goodness.
He should be arrested and thrown in the word jail. Anyway, yeah, there you go. And if you want to follow him, but we don't recommend it. It's official.dustybun. Well, I don't know. How do you get 1 million likes for something like that? Isn't it crazy?
Yeah, it's nuts.
Social media is just a crazy place.
It is.
Bella, you are so right about that. All right, guys, I want you both to just shout out an answer.
Okay.
You both have been sisters, and someday you'll be a mom, just like Celeste is now. And my question for you is, at what age should a son have to leave the house? Bella, just shout out an age number.
18.
Okay, Celeste.
I'm going to go 20.
Okay, see, Celeste has is it a 16 or 17-year-old at home?
16.
So you ain't going to lay down 18 you don't want that.
Well, I'm thinking he'll probably go to college anyway.
Yeah.
But I have to say, ask me like middle of this week after he's already talked back to me, and I'll probably say 17.
Yes.
But he wrote me a letter that I read over the weekend that was very heartfelt.
Really? What prompted that?
It was kind of like a thing that he had to do for like school, and then he made me a video as well. And so it was just like a and so right now I'm feeling very warm and fuzzy about my 16-year-old.
Yeah.
But ask me on Wednesday.
Okay, so right now it's 20. By Wednesday it could be 16.
Yes.
So here's the story in a nutshell, and then we'll move on. But it is a trend. The men leave behind the pressures of the workplace and become the homemaker. They're called trad sons or hub sons.
Yeah.
They live at home with their mom or maybe mom and dad and earn their keep by doing most of all the housework and running errands, etc. And apparently 1 in 3 in the age group of 18 to 34-year-olds now live at home. I don't know. I mean, I do get if, like, it's a mom who's maybe a little bit older, who is not able to get out of the house.
Yeah,
That I could see.
Yeah, she can't maybe, has full use of her legs, or she just got out of surgery, or if she needs you there, that's different.
But, I mean, if mom needs some trim work done on the kitchen island, like we just showed you, or needs the bathroom mopped as soon as possible, how about you still go out and get a job, get your own apartment, but go over to mom's house and mop.
One day a week, one day a week, go over and help her out.
Yeah. Okay. See, this turned into a positive segment.
It really did. That's
for mom.
There you go.
Go ahead, go help Mama out.
So you guys, I spent the last week in Michigan.
Yes.
And Pennsylvania. But one of the things I think will not surprise you about me is when I go places, I get very kind of interested and curious, not in an investigative reporter way.
Okay.
I just want to learn.
Yeah.
And so we went to this town. What would you say, Celeste, top of your head, is the most famous university in America?
Probably Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. Bella, what would you say is the most famous? Actually, first tell us what the best university is in America.
University of Washington.
Thank you. That's the correct answer. Her mom watches. She's a big husky just like me. But is the most famous, name some other ones besides Notre Dame.
USC.
Okay, that's a good one.
Where my
What
sister
else?
goes, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, here in the Valley, I think Arizona State and U of A.
Okay.
Pretty
University of Michigan.
Thank you, Celeste.
Yeah.
So we went to the Michigan football game, and we lost. The Huskies lost, and it was a bummer. However,
Bummer.
I will just let me go right to the graphics here because I want to share a few pictures with you. This is so funny. This is people wearing Washington gear or Michigan gear, or the guy in the middle has a Washington cap on with a Michigan shirt. So in the middle is my daughter, Michelle, her husband, Nick. Nick's twin brother is right next to Michelle. He's getting his PhD in psychology.
Oh, wow.
At Michigan.
What does he want to do
He
eventually?
gave us on a tour of the city. He wants to be like on a faculty at Michigan.
Good for him.
That kind of a thing. By
Smart
the way, to the
family.
left is his dad, Dean, is a super cool guy, just retired as a Delta Airlines pilot. And then over there is Renee and me. But I have a question for you about the town where the University of Michigan is located. Now, see that. Look at that postcard view.
That's a
It's
beautiful
gorgeous.
shot.
I took that picture.
Yeah.
Oh, my
In
goodness.
the rain.
Ron.
Thank you, Bella, for the compliment. I mean, just the way you said Ron. was like a
You need to watermark that and like put it up online for sale. That's
and
a
make some
beautiful
money.
shot.
turn it into a poster. How about this? This next picture I'm about to show you, I took. Hold on. I took
Wine?
from the parking lot of the Delta Hotel, which is kind of a lower rent version of Courtyard by Marriott.
Okay.
I mean, I go for the less expensive
Delta
hotels.
Hotel.
Yeah, but this is the parking lot, and look at the fall colors. That's
Oh,
right
my
from the
word.
hotel
That
room.
almost
So
looks like
beautiful.
a haboob in the far distance on the
Yeah.
bottom.
Huge
Ooh,
storm
Celeste,
cloud.
You're right. They're like multiple layers of clouds going on.
Yeah, that's pretty
But
amazing.
Here is your
Beautiful
trivia
photo.
question for today. I can't wait
Okay.
to ask you because I said to myself, wait a second. I've been there before, but I've never asked this question question, and so I went and did the research.
Okay.
And now you guys at home can play along too.
Look at you with the research. Digging deep.
Why the city that the University of Michigan, which I would put them in like the top 10 universities.
Yes.
in the
Yeah,
country,
for
they are
sure.
really first class all the way, is in a town called Ann Arbor. Here's your question. Why is the town called Ann Arbor? I have multiple options. It's an
Okay.
A, B, or C. Ready? Here we go. A, the wives of the two guys who started the town were both named Ann. B, it's a misspelling of the word harbor. It got submitted to the post office as Ann Arbor, but was supposed to be Ann's Harbor.
Okay.
That's B. C is it was founded on Arbor Day.
Uh-huh.
And D is that's it. A, B, or C. What do you think there? The wives of the two guys were named Ann. It was a misspelling of Ann's Harbor, or it was founded on Arbor Day.
What do you
Bella,
think,
get to go
Bells?
First here.
B.
B. Okay, so it was supposed to be Ann's Harbor. It was a misspelling. That's a very good guess. But Celeste, you're locked out of that one.
I
What
think
other
I'm
one?
going to go with C.
C. The town was founded on Arbor Day.
Yeah.
Celeste, I'm sorry, but I have to give you that sound effect you don't like very much. Bella, I'm sorry, but I also have to give you.
Dang it.
So were they called Ann's?
Yeah, both wives were named Ann. So John
cool.
Allen's wife, these guys, imagine back in the day.
Yeah.
They got the land, 640 acres, a
Yeah.
square mile, and they said, we're going to start a town here. And they're like, all right, what do you want to call it? And so here, let me pull up that picture one more time of beautiful Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Oh, so pretty.
But so John Allen's wife was named Ann Isabella.
Wow.
And John Rumsey's wife was named Mary Ann Rumsey.
Very cool.
And the story goes they loved all the trees there. They loved a kind of a shady grove. And so that became known as Ann's Arbor.
That's so
Wow.
great.
And that's why they call it Ann Arbor. It's to salute the two Anns.
So we have a couple of comments in here.
Okay.
We have Joseph Smith said Elvis Presley played in Ann Arbor in 1977.
Wow.
So I
Joseph,
wonder.
if you were there for that concert, spill the beans, buddy.
We want to know what that concert was like.
Yeah.
There was, I met a young lady who went to Ann Arbor, Michigan, went to University of Michigan, and she was so sweet and so helpful. I feel like it's like, that is what Midwestern people are like. She was just like
Yes.
so amazing and so sweet.
agree.
And she's like, I loved going to school there. It was just so amazing. Just very cool.
Yeah, no kidding.
Nice.
Bella, have you been there yet? You better put it
No.
on your list. It's a beautiful
I will
area.
put it on my list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Thank you.
I don't know what happens to the hour, but it disappears just.
I know. Went by so fast.
I know.
Do we want to give Dave another $15? You want to show his face?
He's
There
up
he
to
is.
45 bucks. It's like our own telethon. It's really good. All right, we're going to take a break. Ty and I think Danielle.
Yes.
2 minutes from now.
Have a great day, everyone.
Nicole.
Back it up.
Come on in, you guys. Happy Monday.
Nicole, get out of our shot.
Nicole,
this is us.
it's not your turn yet, Nicole.
We are the talent.
I'm patiently waiting.
All right, Anita has the day off, so
You guys are stuck with me.
Danielle has graciously said that she'll be filling in with us this
That's
week.
right.
So thanks for coming in. Thanks for
course.
hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me.
We have a jam-packed show. Should we get right to it? Nicole is here.
You're
so
allowed to join
eager.
us now.
Yeah, come on over, Nicole.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Welcome. Happy
you.
Monday. I don't think have we had you on the 11 o'clock?
I don't think so. Not with you guys. I've
Okay.
been on with Anita and Crystal.
Because what's your shift normally?
Night
You're
side.
Night side.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're on the what? The 5, 6, 9,
Yeah,
10?
9, 10 mostly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So don't get the opportunity to join you guys
Well,
that
I know.
often.
Well, that's
but
why
today
I'm
I
glad
am.
that you
yeah.
are here, Nicole. Now, you covered such a sad story
Yes.
last night. Give us a little background for people who can remember this one.
Yeah, so people obviously remember the severe weather that we got, not this past weekend, obviously, but a weekend before that. And we covered the search for Vincent Upton, the gentleman who lived in Rainbow Valley, who was trying to go across Waterman's Wash. And so last night they had a vigil for him. His body was found a week ago, and just devastating for his family, for the community. There were so many people who came out to do the search as well. So that was a big part of the story, just how this community really came together to try to find him, and then came out again last night to honor his life. So we had the opportunity to speak to his son, Jaden, last night, his best friend, Ben, and a woman who had helped with the search as well. Just a lot of people out there that either knew him really well or didn't even know him that well, but really felt compelled to come out and help, which is cool.
So he was trying to cross, and it was like 3 a.m, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was reported missing about 3:30 in the morning. I think this happened a little bit before that.
But that wash was really going, wasn't it?
Yeah, and there's been a lot of conversations. Obviously, we always tell people to try to, you've heard the slogan, the turn around, don't drown, to try not to cross water. But the argument that's been made by some community members out there is that, in these instances of flash flooding, the way that the road kind of dips down, it's kind of hard to see. There's not any lights out there. It's very rural.
Well, that's what I was going to say, because it was so late at night. He maybe thought it was just like a trickle over the road, or you know what I mean?
Or even just like just a little bit. He was in a truck. You think about, you might feel a little bit more
Safe,
invincible,
secure,
and in a big truck like that. And so that was kind of part of the argument from community members was, yes, are you told to not do this? But when you live in an area for so long, there's probably a thought to like, oh, I've done this before. Or, you just never know when it's going to be that time when the flooding is going to be that severe, which it clearly was.
And we're looking at video right there. Is that...
That was Sunday, I believe.
Sunday, okay.
Which was the next day, later that day. It was still that, you see that Jeep is getting through okay, I guess, but that's even struggling a little bit. We talked to a woman last night who went with her horses, and she said the horses were up to their stomach during the search on Sunday. She was swimming, and it was up to like her chest. Just incredible conditions to try to find someone in. That's his truck that was found. As you can imagine, they're saying that the water pressure didn't allow him to escape. And then I think it eventually kind of burst the windows in the windshield. We don't know the details, of course, of at what point he was not in the truck anymore, but he was found a considerable distance from the truck itself. So just a really sad story. He had 3 children, a wife, a huge community. He was an iron worker. They said he was... he'd get up, I think his son said at like 4 a.m. and go into work and just really taught some hard work ethic to his kids.
And that's what I love, that soundbite that you were able to get with his son, because he basically said that, like, my dad leaves me with the, wanting to be as hard of a worker as he was.
Yes, yeah.
Which I thought was a really cool
And was he heading to work?
So
because it does look like a work truck.
Yeah,
of
so
some
it's
sort.
not clear. That part of the story isn't quite clear to us yet, as far as what he was doing, or where he was heading or heading from. But I think it comes down to he thought he could get across. He was used to that area. And that brings up the conversation that's happening now in that community, which is that they are pulling to get the county, the state, someone to build a bridge over Waterman's Wash. I know this was before I got here, but a few years ago, that family up in Tonto Creek over the Tonto Basin was washed away. And they said it took that tragedy to get a bridge in that part of the state and that over that wash.
But you know what? We've covered this area. I mean, this is kind of, it's known
very typical
to flood.
Yes. So that's kind of what they're saying is it took that tragedy to build a bridge there.
Which we also had several issues there as well before that awful
So is it going to take take this unfortunate death for a bridge to be built there? So we're going to keep following along with that as well, and see if maybe that will be a conversation that takes place to maybe make that community feel a little safer when flooding like this happens.
It's such a sad story. What are you working on today?
So today we are talking about some storm damage over in the Tempe area where luckily...
Isn't it incredible? We're still talking about this, 2 weeks later?
I know. Well, and I feel like I just stopped going over to Globe every day because, which we still could go every day and find a story there because they're still, reeling from all of the damage there. Luckily in Tempe, no one lost their life, but of course we saw that apartment complex. And we're going to be going over to the Hall of Flame today to see some of the damage that they have there. So we're kind of talking a little bit more from the business / organization side today. But yeah, it is crazy. It just goes to show when weather does happen in Arizona, it's a huge deal, which I've learned since I've moved here last year. In the Midwest, flooding wasn't necessarily a story very often, but here it certainly is.
And I guess, you'd probably see all the wind, but they were saying in Tempe, I went out that very next morning after that storm happened, and we think of the monsoon storms, and typically here it's those little tiny Palo Verde trees, or even a big Palo Verde. It's very typical for them to get blown over. And when I was at that apartment complex,
that was wild.
It is.
That was, and I think Crystal even said they clocked it. That was the microburst that hit right there, like 75-mile-an-hour winds. And I've never seen anything like that.
And you think of how giant those trees are. So that those have been there for years and years and years. They've weathered all sorts of storms.
There was roots that were taller than I was out there, and I stood next to it and I'm 5 feet, and it was taller than that. Like the roots were just massive. So
and, we did that story this morning, and of some people in that community that were hit, that apartment complex, some of them are still without gas in their apartment. And so, it's just, taking a while for everything to get back on their feet. And then that business that lost that roof.
Yes.
70 businesses in that little complex there in Tempe?
It's just crazy in just a couple of minutes what damage can do. And I think it's interesting, too, that on Saturday, I believe, the Red Cross delivered like 300 meals to that. Thinking about 300 meals that you are passing out there in an apartment complex, that hundreds of people who are willing to say, hey, I need help, I need a meal, like that, just devastating. And it happened just like that.
It was unexpected.
Yeah. And you don't, what can you do to prepare for that? There's really not much you can do.
And it happened, I think it was like 1:30 in the afternoon. So I'm sure everybody was either at work or, awake.
Maybe not even home,
Yeah, probably not. And then had to go back and see that. So yeah, it's been, really just overwhelming to cover between what's happened in Gila County here in Maricopa County, covering, Vincent Upton, just, it's just really sad when Mother Nature, people get frustrated, because Mother Nature is the bad guy in the situation. There's nobody to really point the blame at. And so people get frustrated, and it's just really sad because we want to help them and we want to fix it for them. But the bad guy isn't somebody who's going to go up against, a judge. It's Mother Nature. So it's.
And I think the Hall of Flame, they said, like $200,000 worth of damage.
Yeah. And it's such a cool place and has so much.
Very cool.
Just so many artifacts in there that, you don't want to lose. So yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of catching up with them and seeing what can be done to help them out too as they recover.
Well, I think it's important after something like this to keep it in the headlines so
Absolutely.
people remember that some of your neighbors could still potentially be struggling after what happened to them. So we'll be watching for your story tonight, Nicole.
Thanks, guys.
Come
Thanks,
on
Nicole.
anytime.
Okay, great.
Are you here tomorrow?
I'll be nightside again
Well,
tomorrow.
it's nightside. She's usually probably sleeping right now.
Yeah, she probably is usually sleeping in. What time?
Because you don't guys come until 1:30, right?
Right now, I'm getting what I call a second sleep. So I might have woken up for a little bit. I call it that instead of a nap, because it's like it's still the morning. So you're not napping, you're just sleeping again. So I might have.
How long is your second sleep, Nicole?
I don't know. It just kind of depends on how much sleep I got the night before. You get off work at 10:30 and then you go home and you're like jazzed. still. Like, so you're up late, and then you get up maybe to go do a workout, go do something, take the dog for a walk, and then you're like, you know what? I still have about 4 hours.
Gosh.
Am I gonna be okay at 10 o'clock to go live? No, I need a second sleep.
I'm gonna put that in my next contract. While I'm here on staff, on schedule, I need my second sleep in the morning. So I need a good hour.
Just a little 20 minutes sometimes. 20 minutes.
My agent Nicole mentioned it. So
let me tell you, it works wonders. So yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully you don't fall asleep in the car on your way to your store today.
I won't. No,
she's not driving.
I'm ready. Yeah.
We should mention she's not.
No, I won't. No,
okay.
I won't be.
Well, thank you.
Thank you guys so much. I'm going to leave now.
Okay.
Yes.
So guys, have a great rest of your show.
She's late for her second sleep.
I'll see you at 4 and 5, guys.
Yes.
Bye, Nicole. Oh, okay. I know Ron talked about this story during his Fox 10 Talks earlier, but I just cannot get enough of this story happening in Paris.
I know. And it's mind-blowing. And my biggest question was, when all this happened, I'm like, what the heck are they going to do with this stuff? Because everybody knows where it came from. But I guess they cut it down. And
Allegedly.
They break it up and then they sell it kind of not as what it is, but just all the pieces of it.
Yeah.
And they obviously can make millions upon millions, but wow.
So I thought this originally, when I heard about this, I thought maybe this happened when the museum was closed. But no, this happened just 30 minutes after.
Broad daylight.
Broad daylight.
Yeah.
After the museum opened, they basically backed up kind of like it looks like a conveyor belt kind of thing that
like
went
a
to
lift.
one of like the third or second or third story windows, got right in, and were able to steal this, which were a ton of what they call basically like the French crown jewels. And so look, this is like some of the items that were stolen. Still no idea who these thieves could have been, where they came from.
Yeah. And it's crazy, too. It says a preliminary report has revealed that 1 in 3 rooms in the area of that museum that was raided has no TV cameras.
Huh. You would think that they would have them everywhere. And
I would think there'd be an armed guard standing in front
right
of
next
those.
to them. I know. So sometimes, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I'm like, do you think this was like an inside job? Did someone know?
There's got to be. I mean, but also, too, it's judging by this that they had no security cameras in some of those in some of those areas.
But who else would know that? Someone that works
But
at
then
the
it makes me
Louvre.
think, though, that they should have security.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just people knew that their security wasn't very tight.
And I listened to some interviews, and there was like, obviously a ton of tourists. I mean, the Louvre, if you've never been there, an incredible museum, but it is a massive tourist attraction. So all of a sudden they started just telling people like, time to leave, get out. And they didn't really tell anybody. And it wasn't until people kind of like left the museum that they start getting the alerts on their phone being like, we were just there during a massive heist. So
that's just crazy.
Incredible story. I'm really interested to see how this will all pan out, if they're going to be able to find these individuals that took it or what. But pretty incredible.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up in just a few minutes, we have our good friend, one of our dietitian friends, are going to come in and talk to us about hydration. We'll see
Get your water ready.
Get your water ready. And
Gatorade.
Your electrolytes.
Yes, there you go.
All right, welcome back, you guys. Our next guest, you maybe recognize her. We had you on not too long ago, JD from Banner Health. You are a registered dietitian, and we had such a great time talking with you that we're like, we got to come back. Anytime we have any questions, we got to have you back. So we're glad that we're finally able to have you back, JD.
Thank you.
And we are talking this morning about hydration, specifically those spas, like the IV spas where you go get, they stick a needle in you, hydrate you. But
For
we're
like an
asking
hour.
you maybe some of the questions that you should be asking before you go, right?
Yes.
Because not all are created equal.
Not all are created equals because of who's administering these particular IVs.
Okay.
And that's an important consumer question to ask when approaching these treatments or considering these treatments.
Okay. Why?
Because we know association with needles, we think medical profession, and
Sure.
that's exactly correct. So there are licensed professional medical professionals that know how to administer these needles because things can go wrong, right? It's not a no risk situation. You know, your veins are temperamental, perhaps. You could have some infection, you could have some bruising and infections. So we want to make sure we keep safe with the right people administering these IV treatments.
And is there a big difference between, we have those spots that are specific, a brick and mortar, if you will, that has, the bed set up, you can go in there, lay there for an hour and do it. And then there's so many mobile companies now that they will come to you, to your house.
Yes. So they'll come to you, and you want to make sure that they are sterile. Where are they mixing these solutions? Are they doing it in sterile specific locations? And you want to also ask if they're using formulas from a registered pharmacy.
So those are the things you should be asking right up front.
Yes.
Okay. And now, I've never been to one of these before. Will they be forthcoming with you if everything is legit? Or they should be, at least, in a perfect world?
In an ideal situation, absolutely. But the consumer price for these are between $130 to $200 for 24 ounces of hydration straight to the bloodstream. So what's important to know is 24 ounces. We all know what a 24-ounce bottle looks like. That's about how big the saline bags are. They're going to be definitely saline. There's going to be vitamins and minerals. They might add some amino acids. They're going to add some antioxidants like glutathione and other anti-aging. So they're using immunity boosters, performance boosters, and beauty boosters, of course, to sell you on this product. Now, the thing that I want you to know as a dietitian is that you can hydrate. So more sip, less drip.
Love that.
What?
Yeah, you guys need to patent that.
More
sip, less drip.
That's right.
With JD, it's going down. Oh my gosh. Okay.
So, because a lot of people in the chat are asking, how do we always
How do you do that? Like, how do you drink more than?
Oh, wonderful. So what you need to know first is how much you need in a day.
Good question.
So whatever you weigh, divide that by 2. That's how many ounces of fluid you need in one single day.
Hold on. I want to do this.
Do this math. Here we go,
How much do you weigh, Ty?
I don't care. 170. All right. Oops, hold on.
So 170 divided by 2
170 divided by 2
is going to give you 85 ounces of fluid per day. That can come from not just water, but that can come from low-fat milk. That can come from seltzer water. That can come from tea. That can come from only 8 to 16 ounces of coffee.
What about wine?
What about
wine?
Ouch.
Wine is slightly a mild diuretic, like caffeine, so we're going to be mindful of those in particular. But 85 ounces if you don't exercise. If you exercise, there's sports nutrition performance strategies of what to drink, how much to drink before, during, and after activity.
Let me ask you this. I feel like I'm really good at my water intake, but sometimes I think I'm doing my water intake too quick, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
So am I just
I don't know what you mean.
peeing? I'm talking about taking a pee-pee.
Yes.
A wee-wee.
A lot.
Going to the tinkle room.
Yes, your pee needs to be slightly yellow.
Okay.
Just slightly. So
But
that
you
way
don't want it dark. I know that's like the biggest
Definitely.
thing to say that you are dehydrated, in fact.
That is correct. If you have the appearance of apple juice, go to see a medical professional right away.
Right away.
That's dangerous dehydration. Possibly some kidney issues there. But you want your urine to be slightly yellow, so you're not flushing out all that sodium and potassium and magnesium, all those electrolytes that these IV treatments are putting into their saline and upselling like, oh, you're getting all these things, but you can get those things from real food by eating real whole foods and drinking enough fluids through the day.
So you want to make sure you get those 85 ounces sporadically through the day, not like chug 85 ounces of water first thing in the morning. And
That's right.
Okay.
Because our kidneys can only filtrate about, say, 16 to 20 ounces per hour.
Oh, really?
So when we're chugging 40 ounces because we have those nice big cups now that encourage it, it's lovely, but we're just going to the bathroom every hour and thinking, gosh, I pee a lot. So if you just pace out your fluids through the day, that way you're going to be more hydrated and you're more naturally putting in the drip. As you know, these IV drips you sit for an hour to receive 24 ounces. And then they're giving you large amounts of B vitamins. So you are peeing highlighter yellow later, right? Yes. Because your body can only do so much with so much of those water-soluble vitamins. And on the contrast, if you're taking in fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K, which sometimes they do put those in these solutions, then you have a potential for that toxicity of those particular vitamins as well. So very important nuances. The best thing you could do is ask too, can we do some pre-lab work to see actually what do I need in this cocktail if you're determined to get them, what is essential and what is non-essential for that individual receiving the IV hydration.
And now that, go ahead. I was going to say just with the weather change, I know obviously we're really starting to dip down now in our temperatures. I'm sure, does hydration just need to stay the same or does it just depend on?
I mean, obviously in the summer we're sweating out there.
Right. It does depend on how much you're sweating and how much you're active. Like I said, half your body weight in ounces of just water is a sedentary need for your body. And then the activity on top of that would be that you're drinking between 3 and 8 ounces of liquid every 20 minutes of activity that you're sweating.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And then afterwards, the recovery piece is that you're drinking about 24 ounces of liquid per pound of weight that you lost during that activity.
That's too much math.
I know. I'm
just going to text you.
I'm
passed out
on
supposed to do send.
I'm passed out on a treadmill I got to get my 25 ounces.
So here's an easy way. Do your 85 ounces, and if you exercise, don't leave the house with anything less than 24 to 32 ounces of water.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Let me ask you this. We've seen so many products now, like the liquid IV. There's that LMNT element.
Yes.
Which I love.
Is it good?
It's so good. There's this, they have the salted hot chocolate, and we go to Montana and ski, and it's literally the best thing. You drink it, and your headache from the elevation and skiing and cold, it goes away.
Well,
so
yes, because electrolytes will certainly hydrate you quicker, right? Because the sodium is helping water be retained in the cell, right? And when we're hydrated, we always feel better. That's part of the misleading of the IV treatment is that, I feel better. Of course you do. You're hydrated, right? So when we're not hydrated, our blood is actually thick. And what is carried in our blood is oxygen and nutrients from food, right? All our micronutrients and our macronutrients. So if your blood is thick and oxygen can't get through, that's like gridlock traffic here in Phoenix, right? Where oxygen is trying to get to the cell, can't get through, too thick, can't get the micronutrients in, can't get the fluids in, so you feel bad.
Can you do a natural, I've seen someone just do pink Himalayan. Pink Himalayan.
He's already had 25 ounces of wine. Can you tell?
Pink Himalayan sea salt. They add that into their just normal water. Can you do that instead of buying those packets?
Absolutely. Unless, there's always an unless, you have high blood pressure. Then I would not suggest that.
Okay. Someone is asking, I also drink warm water if I feel dehydrated, so it absorbs into my body faster. Is that true? Warm water?
It depends.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely soothes the throat and nourishes that, gives you some respiratory relief. Some of that is, but in way of how quickly cold water versus hot water is absorbing, it's a small amount. Just like the difference between the IV treatments hitting the bloodstream or taking fluids orally, it does get to the body to hydrate you through the veins quicker naturally. That's why we use it for people that can't keep foods down or keep liquids down. There's a necessary time to use IV hydration at that point. But otherwise, it's just best to keep it oral, even though there's a slight time difference because you're going through the GI system for it to be absorbed. It's still minimal and a whole lot lighter on your wallet.
Okay. We're getting a lot of questions. I hope you don't mind, JD.
I love it.
Brandy the Bookworm is saying, why and how does caffeine cause dehydration?
Caffeine, we talked about this before in our last podcast, is that caffeine is a mild diuretic. So it's actually pulling water out of the cells of your body. And so therefore, you're becoming slightly dehydrated as you consume the hydration.
So you kind of make sure it's a balance.
It's a balance, yeah.
Exactly. Make sure you're drinking water before you have your first cup of coffee, and then maybe some water after as well.
Is it any caffeine? Like even if you do like a Celsius, is that
or Red Bull or
that's right?
Any type of caffeine will do
That's
that.
right.
Okay.
Any type of caffeine is a mild diuretic.
And then someone was asking too about watching for sugars in those drink packets.
Sports drinks now. I feel like sports drinks a lot of people are starting to not drink sports drinks anymore because they say it's just a sugar rush rather than.
There's a time and a place for those sports drinks.
Okay.
Let's remember why Gatorade was created. It was created for the athlete because athletes need carbohydrates, they need electrolytes during endurance training. Okay, so they need that energy. Carbohydrates are energy for the brain and the muscle. So for those people that are not in need of that kind of energy during just sitting around like us right now, we don't need a Gatorade unless perhaps we're using that carbohydrate energy because we didn't eat. Not the best source of carbohydrate in substitution of eating, but certainly a good carbohydrate when you're in activity mode or performing. So there's a time and a place for those. Otherwise, if you're not an athlete or you're not that active, you're not sweating, you're not performing at a high level, then yes, water is a good choice. Or you could perhaps go with the sugar-free options.
We've got about a minute left. I mean, everybody talks about tracking their calories and tracking their macros and whatever. Do you think water, that should be something that you need to be cognizant of every single day too? How much water you're taking in?
Yes.
How come you don't think that's been as popular as some of these other things everybody's tracking?
Maybe because there's no money in the cure.
I have seen the water bottles, though, that are now like labeled.
Yes.
Like almost there. Your goal is here. So maybe it's making a comeback.
Yeah, I feel like in my profession, it's definitely something that I hear all the time and I'm talking about is bringing awareness to people that this is what our body needs. We're 75% water, our bodies. So without it, we have thick blood. With thick blood, we have little oxygen flowing through our cells. We have less micronutrient absorption. And these are all the reasons why people are turning to these IV hydrations thinking, well, they're associating this needle for good nutrition.
15 seconds left. I hate to interrupt, but real quick, how can folks get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me through my email. Is jacqueline.fryer@bannerhealth.com.
All right.
Perfect.
JD, always love when you come in. Thank you so much.
I need some water.
It's been a pleasure. Yes. Everybody.
Where's the Stanley?
All right, bye, guys.
everybody, and welcome to more of Fox 10 Talks. It's so good to be back with you after a week's break. I'm Ron Hoon, commonly known as the Hooner. Desiree is going to join us in just a moment. You guys, I'm reading your chat, and I love Mr. Paul Valine's remark saying he had some Fritos. When I was on vacay last week, my wife and I, Renee, we were driving through Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and that was my go-to snack. Fritos. Just the regular corn chips, nothing fancy, not like the hot chili or anything along those lines. But hey, you know what? Fritos are one of those things when I start eating them, I can't stop. So you get one of those 9-ounce bags, and the next thing you know, you've gone through the whole 9 ounces. Des, what's your go-to snack?
Oh, sometimes I get an itch for Cheetos.
Oh, really not Fritos, but Cheetos.
Cheetos.
Okay.
Yeah, the crunchy.
Yes, right.
The crunchy.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, when I get a taste for those, I'm finishing the whole bag.
Right.
Don't ask me to share. And the best part is licking all the cheese off your fingers.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now there's one other item in that same category that I can put in.
What's that?
Which is kettle corn. I don't know what it is about the taste of the kettle corn, but if I get that taste going, I've got to eat like half the bag.
Well, this is your season then. You must love fall because fresh kettle corn that we get at like all the festivals and the pumpkin patches, that's the best.
I know.
That's the best.
Yeah.
You can buy it in the bag at the store, but it's just not,
no,
I don't know, not the same as freshly popped kettle corn.
Right. Okay, so you already had a busy day. Tell everybody who's joining us what you've been up to the last couple hours.
So, Wiener Schnitzel.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That was new to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got to experience it for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I looked at the assignment sheet this morning and was like, what is that?
Yeah. And
so it was fun.
You had one?
So they are opening a new location in Surprise. A husband and wife, so cute, by the way.
Oh yes.
They met at a Wiener Schnitzel.
So great.
Okay,
wieners. That's a sign of true love.
Wieners are their love language.
That's today's quote worth re-quoting.
I'm gonna have fun with this one as long as we can say no. But they opened up a new location in Surprise, husband and wife couple. It's their third location in Arizona.
Okay.
Glendale, Yuma, and now Surprise. And I got to try. You know what I ate though? I had a burger, so I don't have a hot dog.
You had a burger at Wiener Schnitzel?
Yeah, I did. I know,
okay.
but it was good.
Yeah, sure.
And I had a dipped ice cream cone too. Those are hard to find in Arizona.
Well, at DQ.
But that's like the only option.
Okay.
I don't know. Like in the Northwest, we had them everywhere. Like all the mom and pop ice cream shops did dipped cones.
Okay.
But I can only find them at Dairy Queen here. But now Wiener Schnitzel has dipped cones.
Oh, man.
So they're my new favorite.
I'm going to cruise through that drive-thru for
Did you get any? We brought like 25 hot dogs back to the newsroom.
No. What time was that? Like when I was on with Syleste at like 10:30
Yeah, food lives about 0.5 seconds as soon as it enters this building.
Correct.
So sorry, Ron.
Wow, there you go. Now you know the whole story. When you bring back 25 hot dogs and
they're
none
gone
around when I take my break. Okay, some news stories to get to. Some other stories of interest. We're going to start with, this is such a mystery. We hope that we can get some answers here pretty soon, but you can imagine the shock that a couple of different Valley families are dealing with. There's a big police investigation underway in Glendale. So apparently the family members of one or both of the men, we believe both of the bodies that were found belonged to these two men who were friends. I think they knew each other anyway, and the family got worried, and so what do? They start tracking the phone of one of the two men. We don't have any identities released yet. I'm sure by later today we'll probably hear from Glendale police, because they may need the public's help to try to solve this one. And the family members, very wisely, I think, go out to this parking lot in Peoria, 51st Avenue, or in Glendale, 51st Avenue and Peoria. You can imagine their shock when they look inside the vehicle. I think it was a pickup truck, and they see their loved one dead inside the vehicle. And there's part of the story that there are a couple of aspects that really make it strange. It's going to require some good detective work. No indication of gunshot. So when I think, you know, in the day and age that we live in, you hear something like this, you think, okay, well, somebody shot him. But that's apparently not the case, at least no indication yet.
I mean, maybe an overdose situation. I hate to say. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That is odd.
But
no visible signs of trauma?
Well, that's the thing. They're also saying that the bodies were in various stages of decomposition. So I think it had happened a while ago.
Wow.
I know. Okay, so that's about all we know about it so far. But you can imagine with this family, they're getting worried, more and more worried by the day. They weren't able to reach out to their family member, and they say, hey, let's track their phone. Brings them to the truck, and there are the bodies.
Well, if nothing else, that technology is amazing. So the family able to track the phone. I'm sure detectives will try to use some, technological footprint maybe to try to piece this together in their investigation too.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's tricky.
They're also going to be investigating what went wrong on Mount Lemmon. I don't know if we have a lot of viewers from the Tucson area, but that is one windy drive. But boy, when you get to the top and you're up there, I think at like close to 9,000 feet or 8,000 feet on the top of Mount Lemmon, you look down on Tucson. It's one of the most beautiful views in the whole state of Arizona. But this video came into us over the weekend. Unfortunately, if you miss a curve on the Mount Lemmon Highway, this is probably what could happen to you. Pinal County Sheriff's Department saying the guy who was driving this vehicle missed a curve, went right over the edge, and tumbled down that cliff, the equivalent of a 4-story building. He's been identified, 66 years old, David McClure. Was the only person in the vehicle at the time. They think that he just simply failed to make a turn, and that was all it takes. So a beautiful, just memorable drive, but if you go over the edge, you can see the cliff up there as well. Probably not a shocker.
Are you familiar with that drive? Have you taken it a few times?
You know, so many years ago, before I got too involved in the studio, I used to travel the whole state of Arizona.
Oh, wait. Okay, yes, I know this because you love driving and you wouldn't let the photographers drive?
Well, that's partly true.
Okay.
I mean,
okay, not let them drive. You enjoy driving.
Well, like I remember one photographer, especially Tom Fergus, my buddy, he's like, you want to drive, Hooner? And I'm always up for driving. So he's up for taking a break.
They probably appreciate that. The rest of us don't drive.
Let's talk about the president. Had a busy day already today. Big Q&A. It's so fascinating. So he starts what almost looks like a cabinet meeting, but he had the Australian Prime Minister with him. And boy, the questions were coming fast and furious for him. Questions about where are we headed with the Ukraine war? Does he even think Ukraine can win this thing? And revelations that he might go to China within a matter of months. So here's we rolled tape on it if you didn't get a chance to catch it. Here's some of what got said.
Meeting with President Xi. We have a very good relationship. We're going to be meeting in South Korea in a couple of weeks, and we'll see what we can do. We have a very good relationship with China, but it's been probably a little bit like your relationship with China. They try and take advantage, but most countries do. I mean, I can say the European Union took advantage, but not anymore. We worked out a very fair trade deal. China has treated us with great respect. Now, in the past, they didn't treat other presidents with great respect. They would take hundreds of billions and even trillions of dollars out of the country, and they would spend it and build their military. Now they're treating us with great respect. Now, we'll see what happens. I said, if we don't make a deal, I'm putting on an additional 100% on November 1st. I think we'll make a deal. They threatened us with rare earths, and I threatened them with tariffs, but I could also threaten them with many other things, like airplanes. You know about airplanes, because they can't get parts for their airplanes.
Can you explain, just a few weeks ago at UNGA, you said that Ukraine could possibly win the war and
well, they could.
Territory, but now
they could still win it. I don't think they will, but they could still win it. I never said they would win it. I said they could win. Anything can happen. War is a very strange thing. A lot of bad things happen. A lot of good things happen. If you look at the Middle East, I would say prior to us hitting Iran so hard, we could have never made that deal because you would have had a dark cloud over the Middle East when we took out their nuclear capability, which was one of the great military maneuvers of all time. It was flawless. You saw that.
Yeah.
But as you know, most of the people dying are soldiers. The soldiers that are dying in Russia and Ukraine, it's unbelievable. 5,000 to 7,000 a week. Can you believe it? And I look at that and I say it's pretty amazing. But in addition to that, there are attacks on Kiev and some of the other places. And it's human lives, but the big number of human lives are soldiers that are being killed on the battlefield, anywhere from 5,000 to 7,000, sometimes more than that every single week. It's not even believable. It's a bloodbath. It's the worst since the Second World War, the worst number of people.
All right, so there's just some of what got said this morning. It's so interesting that almost on a daily basis, the president's out there willing to answer questions. The vast majority of everything you just heard came from reporters standing on the other side of the room shouting out their questions. That whole Q&A went on for quite a while. Now, our poll question looks like this. So this comes out of the No Kings protest from over the weekend. Does the president think he's a king? 69% of you are saying no, he's just a strong leader. 29% though say he does. We're becoming an authoritarian country. We always like to give you a third option. 2% are saying probably not, probably doesn't really think he's a king, but he sometimes acts like it. So you can grab the QR code, let us know what you think. Des, let's call up the YouTube. I'm looking at this.
Yeah, more of a closer tie here. Well, closer margin here between the first and the last option.
Yeah, so go ahead, walk us through
47% say no, he's just a strong leader, and then 46%, so just 1% less, believe yes, he does. We're becoming an authoritarian country.
And I'm looking at this. Sometimes I have to squint to see these numbers.
It's a little small.
I think it says 1.7K votes already, 1,700 votes.
Yeah, in the top left.
All right, so we'll have thousands. Mm-hmm. We'll have thousands and thousands of votes. Now, here is what we can promise to, this is our promise to you, our faithful viewers who, look, it's a 2-hour streaming show. You don't have to stick around for the whole time. We appreciate that you do, because look who's coming up right after the break, everybody. Dave is looking through your comments on the QR code poll or on YouTube, and we'll be back with that right after this on Fox 10 Talks. Well, wherever this is, by the way, it's Mystery Cam time. If you guys at home in the chat want to glance at this picture and tell us where you think it is, I don't know. I mean, it's not like they got heavy traffic or anything, but they sure have the beautiful fall colors. So somewhere in the far northern reaches of our country, I am thinking that I am going to go with your home state, Des. I'm going to say it's somewhere in New York State.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know. Crazy, right?
Okay. I'm going to go with a New England state.
Okay. Do you want to pick? You only have 6 states to narrow it down.
Say it's Massachusetts.
Okay. And Linda, by the way, and I like Linda. I like your guess.
She's specific.
You know, Linda, she and her hubby, they do a fair amount of traveling. So, Linda, we always appreciate when you're home and join us with your chatter. She's saying, what about Halifax, Nova Scotia? Little philosophy is saying, I have a feeling this could be Indiana. And then Louie right next door is saying, I go with Iowa. This is great.
And B. Miguel guessing Colorado.
Matter of fact, Brandon reached out to me on Instagram last week. He's like, Hooner, when are you going to be back on the stream? Come on, man.
Yes, you were missed, Ron.
Thank you.
We missed you.
Okay, he's got Colorado. Frankie D's got Washington. So you're going where? Oh, Massachusetts?
I'm going to say Massachusetts.
And I'm going New York. And so let's see if anybody got it right today. Here
all right, we're all over the place. Oh, it's Flint, Michigan.
Really? And I was just in Michigan.
Wow, Ron, you said the leaves weren't changing.
They weren't.
Wow.
Well, now, but see, we left Michigan and we drove over to Pennsylvania, and they weren't changing so much in Pennsylvania. But when we got back to Michigan, I'm like, we should have stayed here the whole time.
Yeah.
But
so you did see some colors in Michigan.
Yeah, we did see some colors in Michigan. And all right. There you go, downtown Flint, Michigan. So, as promised, we have Dave on the Dave Cam. We have a lot of people voting. Does President Trump think he is a king or not? Dave, what are you seeing, bud?
Yeah, there's been well over 150 comments already. It's great to see so much passion and interest in our poll questions. I'll read a couple that I didn't read earlier. Patty Smith 17V says, we'll be lucky if we still have a country by the time his term is over, even though then he may try to stay longer. It's absurd. The founders of this country are probably rolling over in their graves. And on the exact opposite side, Josie Jones DF7JV says, I wish he would become king. That's the only way he will be able to save America. Really interesting seeing everybody's opinions. Keep them up, guys.
All right, Big D, thank you very much. All right.
Hey,
that's great.
Yeah, interesting. Thanks for voting and leaving a comment. I'm just looking at the chat today, and it's our usual, but I wanted to shout out in particular Joshua Tovar, because I noticed you've been following me on Instagram now too. So I just wanted to say hi. I appreciate that, because early on in the chat, Ron, I don't know if you caught it. He goes, I love Desiree. She keeps it lit.
Hey,
I think he's the only person that would probably say that.
That could be one of the slogans for our streaming show, with Des. She keeps it lit.
I don't know if my family at home would agree, but I come in laying down the law when I get home.
Hey, one of the stories that we thought was really totally fascinating is after all the talk for months and months, Southwest Airlines, they are finally rolling out their new boarding process, their new seating process. Don't get Des started on this, by the way, everybody. You're not on board, are you?
You know what? I'm just Southwest. My message to you, be your own person, be your own company, okay? You're shifting from your core values. Our 2 free check bags are gone.
Yeah.
Open seating is gone.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that was kind of controversial. Some folks didn't like it or not. The 2 free bags. I mean, that hurts. That hurts. It's already so expensive to fly. They were kind of like I felt like the family friendly airline.
Yeah.
And now they're shifting from that.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, right.
Hey, Big D, do we have that shot from Sky Harbor? Let me see. Okay, we're checking on that. But Southwest Airlines, they have a huge hub here in the Valley. They're the number 2 airline, and actually they're pretty close to being number 1, I think. American has the most flights, but Southwest has a lot.
Yeah.
By the way, I fly Delta quite a bit. I've noticed they've taken over more gates at Terminal 3 And so I think they might be flying to more cities in the future. Come on, there's 5 million people living in this town. I'm sure we could get more air service to other places.
Well, and I'm getting worried here. It seems like we don't have as many options to fly as we once did.
I agree.
And I mean, when we get less options, things are just going to get more expensive. And I was just having that conversation with my husband. I mean, we're a family of 6 now. And it's just starting to feel like flying is becoming a luxury.
Well,
and and now with all these changes, these little things, that's why we chose to fly Southwest, 2 free bags. And then with the open seating, I felt like it was easier for families to be able to sit together.
Good point. Well, you guys have the most beautiful family, I swear, in the whole valley.
Thank you.
So I keep telling Des, keep having those kids.
Oh, you would have loved my weekend story.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not happening, Ron.
Des? Yeah. Come on, what?
Snip, snip. Ron wants me to have baby number 5. That can't happen.
You're breaking news here on the streaming show?
If you follow me on Instagram.
You posted about it?
No, but I talk about we can't have 5 because my kids were in the car this weekend asking me for more children.
Okay.
My children were asking for more children.
I'm on their side on this one, Des. Anyway, you're the most amazing mom. Follow Des. Are you just Desiree Fluellen on Instagram?
Yeah, okay. Desiree Fluellen.
I mean, you are going to see one happy mom every single day when she posts. So your family is so beautiful, so amazing. But yeah, you're right. It gets more expensive as the years go by and families get bigger. To fly places. So Southwest has unveiled, let me go back to that great shot. That's Dean Fazzini, and you can clearly see the Southwest. Why is it that whenever I fly out of Sky Harbor, Des, we're number 7 for takeoff, and I don't see a single plane in line right now. Well, there's one going. That might be... And I'm trying to think
you must be flying at a busy time quite often.
11:50. Remind me to start flying out at 11:50. There's no long line of planes ready on the taxiway. But anyway, so here it is in a nutshell. They now say, and this is really unique, Des. Tell me what you think about this. Instead of, the way most of these airlines do it. So number 1, I love this. Usually, active military gets on first.
Absolutely.
Number 2, people needing help, either with children or older folks. No, that's number 2. Number 3, if you paid for a fancy ticket in first class, that's one of the perks. And then kind of further down the line, I guess it's somewhat based on where you're going to be sitting on the plane.
I would love, they should add law enforcement to that list too.
Ooh,
I'd love to see that.
Yeah. So here's the way they're going to do it. Passengers with window seats can board first. So you get on there and you put your bag in and you settle in on the window seat. And then it's folks with the middle seats, and then it's people on the aisle. I think this could work.
I think it's
to speed it
brilliant, though, because it makes sense, right? Fill the back, and I'm so type A, so this makes all the sense to me.
Really? How?
Because it just you fill the window, you come middle aisle. Look at I got the signs.
Okay, yeah. Go for it.
You start in the back,
right?
Window, middle aisle, and then you fill the plane up from there. Well, I guess I'd have to go this way, opposite the camera.
You look like you're actually pulling the plane right into the
gate. Yeah, because you fill from the back and then I mean, and just like boarding, getting off. I mean, right? They don't deplane from the. Oh well, they do the back of the plane.
Well,
it's been years since I've flown. How do they deboard?
Usually they just open up
the front and then you go.
And then,
So you deplane that way.
Row 28,
you should enter that way.
A good book because it's still
because it takes a while.
15 minutes before you get off the plane. But anyway, they're going to roll this out. I do not understand why they called it. They felt like they had to give it a name.
Why Wilma? Yeah, where's the
Isn't that odd?
Window,
Wilma?
Middle aisle. Yeah,
window.
So like where's the I and the L?
Oh, WI is window.
Okay.
L is L stands for aisle.
right?
You know what?
It doesn't go in order.
I know a guy who could reach out to the folks at Southwest.
Yeah,
His
Dave.
name is Big D. Dave, next time you're talking to Southwest, try to find out for
We need to know why they came up with Wilma.
You got it.
Why is it called Wilma?
Window. I see the W-I.
That part makes sense, right? Hey, parents, this is really fascinating. Now, I know a lot of parents who have done this. They're like, they've read enough stories about peanut allergies and how you might be able to help overcome that if you just introduce your kids to peanuts at a pretty early age. So this new study, do we have some, I think we have video that might make you hungry for the crunch.
Oh, you love your peanuts.
I know. I have a big stash
you have a big box.
There's a new study says exposing your baby to peanuts will help them avoid a peanut allergy. They studied over 10 years, Journal of Pediatrics.
What do you think of this, Ron?
I 100% agree. And so they found over 60,000 children avoided peanut allergies after being exposed as early as 4 months. So they say it reduces the allergy risk by up to 80%. Mm-hmm. Do you guys, you're raising babies, do you make an effort to try to just give them a little bit of peanut butter or something?
Well, I'd love to see what people in the chat have to say. So drop a comment about this because, obviously the idea around this has changed. I think like my parents and their parents probably waited to expose us. But yeah, I think we're realizing, like the study says, to me, it's common sense. It makes sense. Expose them early so they don't develop that allergy, just like germs, right?
Right.
If they're exposed to it, they'll build up their immunity, and that's what we want. So it makes perfect sense. So yeah, we give the kids peanut butter as early as they can start having solids. So
then you're probably going to get some of your kids involved in sports. We have this story about a coach. He's been coaching for 50 years.
This story is amazing.
This is our favorite story of the day. We're going to roll it and then say our goodbyes. Ready? So here we go.
6 on 3. 1, 2, 3, stop! I think he's an amazing man. I like to believe that his program develops productive young men and teaches them lessons in life far beyond the football field.
Run 29, toss.
I feel like he has a lot of experience, can teach us more than we already know.
I love coaching. It's my hobby, my pastime, my everything. It's who I am.
I think it's awesome seeing that he got to coach with my grandpa. Hard work gets you far, and respect is number one.
It was tough. Having a relationship on the field was definitely tough. But now that I look back on it, I would never change it for the world. It made me the man who I am today.
I'm a lot kinder and gentler now than I used to be. In the old days, we worked incredibly hard. I mean, a lot harder than we work now, but we still work really hard. Things are different. Kids are smarter. Kids have different thoughts on things. Kids are, they speak out. If something's not right, they let me know. The best part is, 10 years later, kids come back and say hi. And
that's Coach Rick Sharp.
Amazing. Kudos, Coach.